As we are beginning this study on the book of Mark, we are going to be looking at some detail at a number of passages. And as we do that, I want to provide a framework for which we can interpret the scripture and handle it in a way that is consistent and those types of things. So I want to provide a little bit of a framework. The first thing I'd like us to discuss with this is that when we are interpreting a passage of scripture, that we must keep the whole Bible in our scope and thought processes when we interpret it. So, for example, if we're talking about who God is, that we're discussing the character of God, that we need to be taking a look at the whole picture from Genesis to Revelation and say, who has God revealed himself to be in this whole book, and not just pigeonholing God into a particular passage or a particular verse. It also interacts with the way that we talk about other people, the way we talk about people, humanity, what we're doing, what is correct behavior. All of those things need to be put inside of that perspective of what does the whole Bible say about this, and not just a single verse. The other thing that I think that's important for us to understand when we talk about the Bible is that when we talk about the Word, that this is both a fully divine book, but it is also a fully human book. Just like Jesus is fully human and fully divine, that the scripture itself is this fully divine book, a book from God, but that was communicated to us through human authors, which means that it has all of the particulars of a particular historical world that each text, each book of the Bible was written in, that it had a particular audience that each book was meant was originally written to receive, that the author of that book had a particular thing that he was trying to communicate to that particular audience. And so that we can't just say, oh, this was a book written to me, that rather, no, we are a secondary audience, that we happen to come along later and read it and we go, oh, what is God communicating now to me? Rather than saying that this book was written directly to me. It wasn't written directly to me, or directly to you. I want to leave you with those two thoughts that we as we work through Mark. Mark has a very specific audience that he's discussing. He has the early Gentile church, non-Jewish church that he's writing to. And that when we go and look at individual passages in the book of Mark, that we understand that we are going to interpret that through the whole lens of the Bible, from Genesis all the way through to Revelation, as we try to understand who God is, what God has done in Jesus Christ, and how we live differently because of the work of God in Jesus.